Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to come on here and talk about what it's like, since we're talking about how the police are so bad and we're only hearing one side of things. I wanted to show you what it's like on the other side. Okay, several years ago, the news did a tidbit with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and they involved, first run was a deputy and the second one was a news agency reporter. And what they did was they said, what would you do? You know, and they had a couple of scenarios, and then later on they graded them based on whether or not it was right. So let's go ahead and get into that right after this.
Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Alright, welcome back. Oftentimes, officers find themselves in peculiar situations, and they have to make that decision as to whether or not to use lethal force to defend themselves and be able to return home to their families. It's a hard decision to make. A lot of us sit up here, run our mouth, talking about, oh, it would not be a problem for me. You know, I can make that decision, and I have no problem doing that because, you know, I'm educated, whatever your excuse is. But what you fail to realize is you're walking up into an unknown situation. Somebody yanks a cell phone out of their pocket, because that's what people do now, is they record the police. So while the police are trying to secure the scene, secure people from running all over the place and doing them bodily harm, some dumbass decides to reach in his pocket and record the police so they can later sue or put it on social media on how bad the police are. I'm being detained for no reason. No, you have a reason for being detained, because you're a fuck up. They don't know who you are. That's the first and foremost. They don't know who the hell you are. And they would like to go home to their loving spouses and children and pets when they get done. So, without further ado, let me just go ahead and play this. And then, hopefully, some of y'all will get woke.
Tonight at 9, he is one of the most outspoken critics of police use of force.
By the way, this
here in
was
the
a
Valley.
protest during
But
the
he
Obama
gets some
administration.
on-the-job training about use of force tonight.
Very interesting stuff. Reverend Jarrett Maupin led protests and marches after Phoenix police shot and killed an unarmed man. Well, tonight he gets a chance to experience the split-second decisions that police have to make when encountering a suspect.
And our Troy Hayden was right along with him tonight, getting the training as well. This must have been eye-opening.
It was a really interesting experience. You know, we've all watched those protests all over the country after police officers are accused of shooting people who aren't armed. But what would happen if one of those protesters felt what it's like to wear a badge and then be put in a life-or-death situation himself?
You charge a police officer, you're threatening his life.
Put the holster on right inside your belt loop there.
Jarrett Maupin gets his weapon. You might recognize him as a high-profile organizer in the minority community. Just last month, he led marches on Phoenix Police headquarters after an officer shot an unarmed man.
We want his badge. We want his gun. We want his job.
Today, he accepted an invitation to look at things from the
Now
other
they're putting
side,
this loudmouth
agreeing to go through a force-on-force training session with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. 3 scenarios where you have to decide to shoot or not shoot. Scenario 1 is a call about a man casing cars in a parking lot. Maupin approaches the man and starts asking questions.
What? Where you have your hand in your gun? You're looking for your vehicle. What kind of car do you drive?
Where you have your hand in your gun?
What kind of car do you drive?
This is my car, man.
Oh.
Maupin, the officer, is shot. It happens that fast.
Just like that.
At what time did you think that it was time for you to address the use of force that was given? When he came to the back of the vehicle, and was hiding. You know, I could sense something was wrong.
Scenario 2, a call of 2 men fighting.
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What's wrong with you?
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What do you want?
What's happening here?
What's wrong with
Back
you?
up.
Huh? What are you doing,
Unarmed man.
Hey!
Hey, he shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me.
What happened in there?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You just shot him?
Hey, he rushed me.
Tell me why you shot.
Well, I've shot because he was within that zone. You know, I felt there was an imminent threat. I didn't necessarily see him armed, but he came clearly to do some harm to the officer, to my person. It's hard to make that call. It shakes you up.
Again, an unarmed man was shot. Scenario 3, a call about a possible burglar walking down the street. Maupin gets him on the ground. He's not complying.
I need you to keep your hands up, sir.
For what?
Because I need to check that waistband.
Well, why? What are you doing,
Because I don't know what you have under there.
Everybody, look at this guy. What are you doing?
No shots fired, but the suspect
resisting.
did have a hidden knife in his waistband.
And had a knife.
I went through the scenarios too, without seeing what Maupin did.
Well, do you have keys, or do you have anything to show me that?
Don't worry about
No, I need to talk to you. Come on out over here. Well, I'm dead. Maricopa County Sheriffs, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Both of you, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
For what?
Get back. Get back.
Same results for both of us. Things happen very fast out here. I asked Maupin what his biggest takeaway from this exercise will be.
I didn't understand how important compliance was, but after going through this, yeah, my attitude has changed. This is all unfolding in 10 to 15 seconds. People need to comply with the orders of law enforcement officers for their own sake.
Thanks to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office for taking us through that today. It was an eye-opener.
That's a tremendous admission that Reverend Maupin just made.
Right.
That you need to comply for your own safety.
Right, and he saw it. I mean, he plainly shot a man who was not armed but was coming at him, and he felt, that he was unsafe at that point, that he was coming after him, and he fired.
Yeah, and I don't think any officer goes into work thinking, I'm going to shoot and kill somebody today.
No.
But these interesting, things happen, like the guy coming from behind the SUV, boom, and you're dead.
And you are. Six shots he got off.
How did you feel about those scenarios when you were going through them? Did it change your perspective?
Yeah, I've been through one of these before about 4 or 5 years ago, but it just reinforced how fast things happen. And you think at the time, oh, I can think through this and I can figure this all out. No, it's boom, it's just there. Yeah. It's that fast.
I have a lot of respect for Maupin for going through that.
Yeah,
I agree.
I do too.
And agreeing to go through that and seeing it from the other side as well.
Do you think it changes the way he approaches these issues going forward?
He says he's going to go out into the community and say what he said at the very end there. You have to comply with what police officers tell you. Let everything sort out at the end, but just do what they tell you right then and sort things out afterwards.
Interesting.
Interesting. All right, thanks, Troy.
Good stuff, Troy. Thank you.
So there you go. While what happened to George Floyd was not even excusable by a shadow of a doubt, some cases of people who are harmed by the police are from these examples right here. And you had two people with two different views that, oh yeah, I can handle it. Guy reaches in the bed of the truck, pulls out a gun, bam. It can happen just like that. And I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, what you are, or any of that other stuff. But listen. If it's you or me, it's going to be you. If I feel like my life is in danger and I'm a law enforcement officer and you're not cooperating with me, well, I'm sorry. You charge a police officer, there's no telling what you have in your pocket. They have not even investigated that yet. They don't know what you're doing. You pull out your phone to film the police, and you wonder why the guns are drawn and they're throwing you on the ground. And now there's even more sensitivity training, and they're basically taught, and I don't agree with using lethal force in all cases, of course not. But in certain cases like the ones you saw today, yes, absolutely. Someone's coming at me, big burly fucking dude. I don't know if he's armed or not. I don't know what he's got. And then you saw that there was a fight, so the other one could have gotten involved. What, I'm supposed to lay down and let you shoot me? In the interest of lives matter? Fuck that. You come at me, and I'm defending myself. And they have every right to defend themselves, and there are a lot more good cops than there are bad cops. But regardless of good or bad or otherwise, all right, everyone has the right to go home at night after they get off their job. These people signed up for this job. This is something they want to do, yes. But you, as a citizen, regardless if your rights are being violated or not, you need to cooperate with the police. They've done something illegal, in other words, they've searched your car without cause or warrant, then you deal with it through the court system. If there's no warrant or there's no cause, they have no proof. Guess who gets fucking fired? Guess who gets sued? You come out waving a handful of bills at the end anyway. You search my house or my property without warrant or probable cause? Oh, that's an easy win. Easy win. But I'm not going to get out and be like, oh, I'm a sovereign citizen and I'm not going to cooperate and you're going to have to break my window and take me out. That's how people get hurt. Don't pull your phone out of your pocket and film the police. Because as you saw in this demonstration, it's only a millisecond before the person on the other end sees the gun coming at them or a knife, and they're dead. So, you want people to stop getting shot or hurt? Then just shut up. Get out of the car. I'm not going to say the police don't look at black people and go, oh, there's going to be a problem here. I'm not saying that. They do. But without sounding racist here, if all you dealt with was problematic people of a certain type or a certain build or a certain area of town, where every time you asked them to get out of the car and put their hands on their head, they wanted to fucking fight you, what other choice do you have? It's really hard to fight that feeling of looking and saying, this guy's going to be a problem. I'm not saying that's a right way to do it. It's, of course not. You treat everybody as if it's a brand new case. But when you're constantly getting harassed or beaten or shot at, or they run, or they want to fucking ram you with the car, and let's say it's Asian people that give you that problem. And now all of a sudden you build this case in your head that every time you deal with an Asian person, there's going to be a problem. It's not the right way of thinking about it by any stretch of the imagination, but I certainly can't blame them. Because you're not in their shoes. You're not the one out there putting a badge on your chest and fighting crime. You're just sitting back complaining about it. So I hope that woke you up a little bit. And until next time, stay safe, stay woke, stay sane.